For literally thousands of years, there's been this one question, this huge riddle that sparked everything from serious debate to some, let's be honest, pretty out there theories. But what if I told you that in 2013, we found an answer? Not from some modern expert, but from someone who was actually there. Yeah, we're about to open his diary. Okay, so this is it, right? The big one. How on earth did an ancient civilization with no modern machines build something so huge and so perfect? We're talking about a structure that stood as the tallest thing humans had ever built for almost 4,000 years. Just think about that. And just to give you a sense of the scale, we're talking about more than 2 million massive stone blocks, and some of these things weigh up to 80 tons. That's like what, a dozen elephants? This wasn't just building something, it was a flat-out logistical miracle.
I mean, it really is a marvel. It was built for Pharaoh Khufu about 4,600 years ago, and ever since, it's stumped everybody, from ancient Greek historians to today's top engineers. No cranes, no trucks, no power tools. So the question is always the same. How is this even possible?
Well, when you don't have a clear answer, people start to fill in the blanks, right? And that's exactly what happened. In one camp, you've got theories about lost ancient technologies or, aliens. And in the other camp, you have this firm belief that no, this was just pure human genius we've forgotten. And this debate, it's been going on for literally thousands of years. And that's where our story takes this incredible turn. Because this riddle that seemed totally unsolvable, well, in 2013, it finally met its match. But the clue wasn't found anywhere near the pyramids. Nope. It was hundreds of miles away. So you'd think the answer would be in Giza, right? Buried in the sand right next to the pyramids. But no, it was hidden way out in the middle of nowhere, in this desolate, windswept spot right on the coast of the Red Sea. And this is all thanks to a French archaeologist named Pierre Tallet. See, his whole philosophy was to stay away from the big, famous sites. He believed the real secrets, the good stuff, was hidden out on the edges. And that belief, it led him and his team to a place called Wadi al-Jarf. And what they found there, it was just astounding. A whole port complex, 4,600 years old, just hidden away in these man-made caves. And inside, an absolute treasure trove. We're talking about whole rolls of papyrus. Now, finding any papyrus from that long ago is basically a miracle. But these, they turned out to be the oldest ever discovered, anywhere in the world. So they're going through all these official documents, and then one scroll just stands out. It's not some grand royal decree. It's not a religious text. It was something way more personal. It was a diary. A day-to-day logbook from a guy just doing his job. This logbook was basically a time capsule, perfectly preserved. It's like a direct window looking back 4,600 years into the biggest construction project on the planet, all through the eyes of one of the guys who actually made it happen. So, let me introduce you to Merkur. This guy wasn't a pharaoh, he wasn't some high priest, he was an inspector, which basically means he was a middle manager, a supervisor. His job was to run a team and get stuff from point A to point B for the government, and his voice, it's the one we've been waiting almost 5 millennia to hear. And get this, he wasn't working alone. His logbook breaks it all down. He had a big team, about 200 guys, and under him, a specialized crew of 40 boatmen. But here's the crucial part. He mentions his boss by name, the noble Ankh-Haf. You're going to want to remember that name. Now, this wasn't like a Dear Diary kind of thing. This was a work log, super meticulous, incredibly detailed, and he updated it twice a day. It tracked every single shipment, every route they took, every deadline, with stunning precision. I mean, just try to imagine that level of organization 4,600 years ago. It's wild. And for the very first time, Mir's diary lays out the entire supply chain. It's all there. Step 1, his team quarries this beautiful white limestone over at a place called Tura. Step 2, they load it onto their boats. Step 3, they sail it down the Nile. And then, and this is so cool, they navigate through these specially built canals that take them right to a port at the base of the pyramid. And that is what makes this discovery so huge. I mean, think about it. After centuries, millennia, of just guessing and trying to figure out what faded painting is meant,
We finally had it. A first-hand written account from a guy on the inside, literally running the supply lines for the Great Pyramid. And there's zero doubt about what he's talking about. He explicitly writes the destination is Giza. The cargo, limestone for the pyramid. And the real kicker, his boss, Ankhoff, well, historians already knew who he was. He was Pharaoh Khufu's half-brother and the guy in charge of the whole pyramid project. It's a perfect match. The puzzle pieces just click right into place. So, with this amazing new evidence, the whole picture starts to change. The explanation stops being about magic or aliens and shifts to something much more down to earth, and honestly, something way more impressive. Now let's be clear. Mir's diary doesn't solve every single mystery. It doesn't tell us how they lifted those giant 80-ton blocks way up into the sky. But what it does solve is the other huge riddle, the logistics. How in the world did they move millions of tons of stone across the country so efficiently? Well, now we know. And Mir's team was the perfect example of that efficiency. The scrolls show his crew wasn't just, a one-trick pony. This wasn't the pyramid team. This same group of guys was also sent out to build new ports and to help with mining expeditions out in the Sinai Desert. They were like a highly skilled, multi-purpose, rapid deployment force for the state. And that's the real magic of Mir's logbook, right? It just collapses time. Suddenly, we're not just looking at a monument or thinking about myths. We're seeing the day-to-day reality of the actual people who built this thing. We're seeing it all through their eyes. So this discovery, it just fundamentally changes how we look at all this. The story of the pyramid isn't about some impossible, almost magical achievement anymore. Instead, it becomes this incredible story of human organization, of brilliant state planning, and just jaw-dropping logistical skill. And that right there is the real takeaway. The true marvel of the Great Pyramid isn't some secret magic or alien help. It's that people, 4,600 years ago, were capable of this kind of complex, massive-scale project management. And honestly, that's way more impressive. So you see, building the pyramid wasn't about finding one secret key. It was about a whole system, a complex machine where every single part worked together perfectly. You needed the raw materials, sure, but you also needed skilled workers. You needed to be masters of water transport, and you needed a powerful government overseeing the whole thing with incredible project management. So Mir's diary finally pulls back the curtain on this one great mystery. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other ancient marvels, I'm talking Stonehenge, the Nazca Lines, you name it, how many of them have a similar story hiding just under the surface, just waiting to be found? A story that's not about magic, but about masterful, brilliant human management.